Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Lookback, proudly part of the Youtini Podcast Network. This is a Star Wars books podcast for people who can perfectly recreate the sound of the dial-up modem from the family computer of yesteryear, where we celebrate the Star Wars EU and expand your universe one episode at a time. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and I'm joined by the person who's definitely not broadcasting from the back of a moving van, Freddie C.
About to be broadcasting from the back of a moving van. Not so much. It's a couple day move, but still moving all my stuff one last time into the homestead. Pretty excited. Gonna put the dimensions in Discord and see what we can all come up with. Should be fun.
You can craft your new Star Wars studio. That's fun. Had a lot of fun doing that with some folks. Remember, you helped me out with that one, Freddie. Got a little bit of AI involved. It's always a good time. Just get the community voting on what you can do. Let me just say this much: if you want to keep your marriage alive, don't put up a 12-foot by 8-foot photo mural. It's a great way to have some marital strife. Speaking from experience. Trying to line up those panels just right. Ooh, it's stressful.
Oh man, I can imagine. Maybe a bunch of camels in the background.
Yeah. I did have the AI AT-AT camel giraffes that it was doing its best.
Have you posted it?
I'll have to throw that in the Discord. Yeah, the early AI version of what it was telling me to do for the room. But you know who else is good with AI? Our producer, Rick Grace.
I love AI. We're friends. We talk probably way too much, actually.
Uh-oh. Do you have an AI friend, Rick?
Actually, no. You know how you can like program like a model, like an AI model, and Gemini, they're called gems. I have like a gem for everything. I have a therapist gem, a doctor, and a like a gear, like a tech nerd who I can ask like gear questions like, oh, should I buy this lens or this lens?
Oh, I thought you were talking about like testosterone injections kind of gear.
What?
I thought he meant like Pokemon gems.
I was like, okay, continue.
The rainbow badge.
All of those
I'm
are
learning so
options.
much already.
Yeah. I could talk AI for sure.
You know who else is super tech savvy? Emily Daybeck.
Sadly, in my field, yes. As a woman in a sphere of mostly other women, I am the most tech savvy, and that should be concerning / alarming to most everyone. I've been trying to rehabilitate old Chromebooks that we got used, and they keep dying, and I'm tired of waiting 2 months for some random person to fix it. And then so I've been trying to fix them myself, and it's going well. I'm learning a lot. And also using AI to figure out how to light a stage for a school musical. Somehow, again, being the only tech savvy person, I got put in charge of like purchasing an entire lighting and sound setup for a school musical, for which I'm wildly unqualified. But we're figuring it out. AI is very helpful.
Nice.
Thank
There's
you.
a gem for that.
I Jedi the
Yes.
musical, because I would love to see that.
It's Willy Wonka, but I wish maybe I could sneak in some Star Wars stuff. That'd be fun.
You got to put a Wilhelm scream in there.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Yeah. And it's not that hard to do. You could do it.
Well, speaking of tech savvy, we are so thrilled by the fan reaction, the fan response to our recent reunification with the YouTubes. We're back on YouTube, and we've had a great fan response so far. Good for those of you that like to engage with us on YouTube as your platform of choice. You're welcome. And also, goodness, there's a lot to juggle for us to pull this off. And by that, I mean, it's mostly Rick.
I have a headache,
sure.
so yeah, I guess that's me.
Also have Instagram up and running. Check us out on Instagram. We've got short form clips. Got the short videos. I like to call them hot dog videos. They're long ways, like Hot Dog Boba Fett from Dark Empire. Yeah, we got Hot Dog Freddy C now.
Hot Dog Freddy C.
You can find him.
Gotta love it.
Find him on Instagram at Legends Lookback. So
to be rivaled with the Dodger dog from the Dodger Stadium.
Absolutely.
Right up there.
I totally got that reference.
Go Sports.
Go Sports.
Love it. So that's what's new in our world. Excited for this new era, new chapter as we get into this season that we're calling the season of the Sith. Leading off this season of the Sith, we've got our first roundtable of the season, and that is Dark Lord, the Rise of Darth Vader. Dark Lord, the Rise of Darth Vader. You guys ready to get into this?
So ready.
I heard that
Ready.
Rick was listening at 3.5 speed today
Yeah.
to get ready.
How did it just skip every 10th word?
I,
How does
I,
it go that fast?
I think so. I also realized that I think the earlier audiobook is abridged. Because I was,
Jonathan Davis.
yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
so I was trying to read and listen. So that's the only way I can go that fast. I can't normally just process. And even then, I was missing things. But then you take out the whole, oh, this is abridged. And so, like, you just skip pages sometimes. And so I'm trying to, like, keep up super fast and figure out, and it was a lot. But
That sounds
Please
stressful.
tell me it skips all the scenes with this annoying Padawan. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is the audio version not very good, or is it you just don't like the Padawan?
Yeah,
It's-
the Padawan. I mean, he's saber fodder from the moment he enters the book. I mean, you just know he's about to be a Vader kebab. From the first scene. Oh yeah. You know that story in the Bible when Phineas stabs the two people through the middle? He's about to get Phineas.
Phineas and Ferb,
I mean,
yeah, I know that one.
That's different. That's anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's in numbers. Nobody reads numbers. But you know what they did read is Dark Lord, the Rise of Darth Vader. So let's get into it. What do you say? Let's go down the stat sheet and get into the details. First and foremost, this was released as a hardcover in November of 2005. November 2005. We got the cover for this one, Rick. The original hardcover here. Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader by Legends Lookback, as you can see right there at the bottom of the cover.
Legends
That's
Lookback.
perfectly placed logo. Love that. Freddie, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking you were probably really dialed into the fandom back then. I'm thinking this is probably right about the time that Revenge of the Sith hit DVD. What do you think?
I think so.
This is like
I thought
a
it was
good tie-in
theaters.
novel.
Yeah.
Well, the theater would have been May.
Oh.
Yes. So this was shortly
Okay,
after,
yeah.
and it became really popular with people that I knew that were not totally dialed into Star Wars books at the time. This
Yeah.
seemed to have attracted a lot of people, so that, I mean, I remember a few people reaching out, oh, hey, you like Star Wars? I read this book.
Oh,
And
cool.
they never would have read it before. And I just remember them telling me about it. And just hearing, I remember I was young still. I was pretty young. And just hearing them talk about Darth Vader, when I was reading it again, I was like, wow. Haven't read it, haven't thought about it in a long time. Kind of see what the mystic, I guess, presence this book would have given them, like an insight into something they're not used to.
Well, I remember it definitely generated some buzz about how it must have felt for Vader to be in that suit. I think that's the one thing that people talk about the most from this book is the way that Luceno writes that particular scene, just about how uncomfortable Vader is in the suit. He actually said that he talked to, I think he pulled a name for this, talked to one of the actors who played Vader in the suit for Revenge of the Sith, at least for some action scenes or perhaps for some photo shoots. It wasn't Hayden. It wasn't Prowse, but somebody else, another actor who's a body double in the suit who talked about their experience of how uncomfortable it was, and then Luceno puts that on steroids and describes what it's like to not actually be able to see well and not actually be able to hear well and not be able to breathe well. I mean, every single one of these details came from somebody's real life experience of playing Vader in the suit. Luceno, I mean, he's on another level with this, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's I feel like the themes that we see from what Luceno did have really cut into current Star Wars. Oh yeah, look at me, just like
There he
a
is.
ghost.
I just looked the wrong
Tatooine
direction
ghost.
entirely.
Force ghost.
I was a Force ghost for a second, everyone. That was weird. It was cold and gooey.
Moist, you might
a little
say.
yes.
Oh, no.
Gross.
I was about to say you got it, Rick. That's why we all need to be here.
That's right. That's right.
I totally lost my train of thought. Other than it seems like
Luceno,
those themes.
friend of the show, James Luceno.
Yeah.
We got to meet him. Got to meet him at
We did.
Legacy Expo.
His
Freddie?
themes have made it to like I feel like the current ethos of Star Wars. We're kind of seeing it happen. It influenced Filoni, likely. That's what it feels like.
There he is. Friend of the show. See, we called
Friend of
Tom
the show.
Cruise friend of the show last week. Not actually true. Luceno, though, is a friend of the show. Does he remember us? Probably not, but we remember him.
Yes.
It was great.
This guy
Hard
is.
to forget.
I could probably listen to him talk for hours. He is so stoic, so well read. Got a breadth of
You
knowledge.
can tell reading the book. Like, it's not often nowadays that I highlight things on my Kindle,
Same.
and I probably must have highlighted at least 20 quotes. 'Cause I
Yeah.
was like, oh my gosh, the depth,
Yeah.
it was beautiful. And unfortunately, literally minutes after I finished reading the novel, my library loan expired. So I can't access any of those quotes, but I know
We
that they were
believe you.
beautiful.
You totally read the book.
I did. I did.
Good
Well,
book.
Emily read it on digital. I've got the hardcover. Rick did the abridged audiobook on accident. Way to go, Rick.
It happens.
But this book has a tremendous number of different formats. In fact, it later received a paperback release. Often the paperback would come out about 6 months after the hardcover. I've got the paperback as well. But last year, it also received the Essential Legends Collection treatment with a brand new cover. Got Vader in red here, looking all
This is a nice cover.
ominous.
It is nice.
Freddie likes the
It's
cover a little better than
just
the,
black and
the
reds.
Photoshop of the original.
Yeah, definitely. That era was also the era of don't judge a book by its cover
Yeah.
because they were not that great.
The cover designers were experimenting with some early Photoshop technology, and getting the film photography and then putting it on top of a background, throwing some floating heads in there, and
Oh, the floating heads.
slapping it on the shelf. It also, alongside the Essential Legends collection, which we got last year, just about a year ago, in fact, received the unabridged audiobook by friend of the show, Mark Thompson.
So good.
See, I
So
call him
good.
friend of the show. We met him for a grand total of 3 minutes at Celebration in 22.
Oh, he
And
loves
then
us
in
though,
this-
and we love him.
And
It's
this next
mutual.
one, it'll be 6 minutes total. We'll double it. So.
Oh, you better believe it. Absolutely. Yeah,
I
that
started off
was
trying with the audiobook, but I couldn't because of the file system, the way it was done, and I hadn't. Again, this is why it's concerning that I am the most tech savvy person in my friend group. I couldn't figure out how to load that onto something else where I could
can teach you
increase the
step by
speed.
step. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure you could. I'm sure I could have Googled it because that's how I've gotten this far in life. I just didn't put forth the effort, and so I was like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. I can't finish it at this rate, and so I switched to the Kindle version.
There's probably
I
a
think
gem
was
for
good.
that, right, Rick? A gem to
gem.
figure out how
Totally.
to turn that
Probably.
Totally.
Well,
You can make a gem.
the reason that we have the files the way that they are is that this audiobook was given to us courtesy of our friends over at Random House Audio. So thank you for hooking us up with the unabridged audiobooks of the Essential
Yes,
Legends
thank you.
collections. We're so thrilled that those are coming out. We love them, and it's so great for us to be able to keep up with what's happening, way
Yes.
back when in the Legends world, in the
production,
bygone, ye olden era.
the
Go ahead,
music. Oh, just it's the audiobook. This was the first time I was like, I've read this before. It's been a while, and listening to the audiobook was thematic as heck, man. I don't know how else to describe it. There's music and lightsaber battles, and you can hear Vader's breathing during
clone
certain
voices were good
moments.
too.
The clone voices are perfect. The radio comm, I felt like it's a radio drama, right? It's not an audiobook. It's a radio drama. That's what
Mark
it feels
Thompson's
like.
just that versatile.
Yeah.
One voice actor can do so many voices.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Great job.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this program.
Perfect. Hey, that was well
No.
done.
That was also well done. Rick, you could do the next one.
I really want to.
Next unabridged audiobook. That would be
Yeah.
really good.
That'd be fun.
I'm sure he's cheaper than Mark Thompson.
I'm definitely cheaper than Mark. I'll do it for
He's cheap, guys.
a
Hire him.
few dollars.
My name's
Well,
Cheap
so-
Rick.
Yeah, he is so cheap. One time he and I went thrifting. We bought the same book, and he got it for $10 cheaper than me. I was
How?
mortified. I had to leave the store. I was so embarrassed.
Oh,
He
so
stood
funny.
there at the counter and argued with them.
I
until
did
they
not
gave him a discount.
argue. I said,
You
any
pleaded, you
any
begged."
chance you could do this book for 15 or whatever it was, and they're like, how about 20? I'm like, all right, great, or whatever it was.
So funny.
Just a little haggling. I had to try,
It was
and it
desperate.
worked.
Jared
Alright,
is like, I
so
will
if you're-
pay double to not have to do this.
I would. I will play double to not have to ever go thrifting with Rick.
But it's
All
gonna
right, if
happen
you're
again.
keeping-
And I saved money.
If you're keeping track at home, we've got the hardcover. 1, we've got the paperback. 2, we've got the abridged audiobook, the unabridged. We've got the Essential Legends collection. What else? There's another. We also got last year from our friends at Inkstone, we got a foiled collectible hardcover. This came out in June, limited to 500 copies, signed by Luceno himself. It's got the gold foil embossed Vader saber on the cover. Yeah, there's the dust jacket. It's got the black sprayed edges, and then whoosh, you take off the cover, and what do you have? This is your cue, Rick. I'm gonna go whoosh, and then you're gonna show the next one.
Ready.
Whoosh. There it is.
Ooh.
And underneath it is the gold foil embossed lightsaber. These aftermarket selling for a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Am I regretting the
Hmm.
fact that I didn't buy one firsthand?
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
It's a beautiful
So-
book. There's another one. There's one more beautiful book. I'll let you get there, but
The publication history of this book is
Yeah.
bananas.
yeah.
It's bananas. We're 18 minutes into the show. We haven't started talking about the content yet. We got in 2008 a paperback volume, along with Labyrinth of Evil and Revenge of the Sith, collecting all 3 of these as the Dark Lord trilogy. The Dark Lord trilogy came out in 2008. This is one that I don't think I own. I don't think I own this paperback omnibus. It's like as thick as the Lord of the Rings. You know, all 3 of those books collected into one big volume. It's pretty cool. But this cover that we're looking at, which just has Vader's mask, was not the original cover design. Today, I had a Legends Lookback archaeological discovery, as if I was excavating the tombs of Korriban. I found something in Legends history that I did not know about, and it's blowing me away. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a preliminary cover done by Stephen D. Anderson for this Dark Lord trilogy before it was even known as the Dark Lord trilogy. I think they called it Rise of Darkness or Rise of Evil, something stupid like that. Anyway, what's not stupid is the cover. It's got Vader's glove, and then like molten lava,
Ooh.
and like the Imperial symbol embossed in the background. He's clearly like force choking somebody.
Yeah.
It's the coolest cover, isn't it?
I am
Hmm.
sad they didn't go with this cover.
Yeah. But at the
I
same
get why
time,
this is like. Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
I was gonna say, it's super cool because this is not what they went with. But I think had they gone with this, we would have been making fun of the font choice or something.
Oh, totally.
But
Yeah, yeah.
It's giving Metallica.
I was gonna say it's heavy metal.
nice.
Yeah, Rick's making fun of it. Come on, Emily. It's a great cover, right?
It is a great cover, especially having read the book. Like having read the book, I look at that, I'm like, oh, that's incredibly appropriate. However, I think to like grab people's attention, you need
Grab
the
with the
mask.
glove.
You have to have the
Hmm.
mask. If there's something with Vader, that's what's gonna make it sell.
Boo!
Because
no,
he's
the
such an
glove.
icon.
I think
The
Jared
glove.
would get this glove on his butt cheek at the next
I would
celebration.
consider this is.
Hold
we're
on.
talking about getting
We mean a
Legends.
tattoo, right? Not just
Okay,
the glove.
but what about? Hear me out. Hear me out. So what if instead of like the dust jacket coming off and it's a golden lightsaber, what if the dust jacket comes off and it's this, and it's like red foil magma
Oh,
with like his
yes.
glove? That would be sick.
On the
Thought you were
butt
gonna
cheek.
say
I would
On
under-
the
Magma,
butt
but that's
cheek.
different. Yeah, he said Stephen. Okay, I'll only get the tattoo if Stephen D. Anderson himself draws this.
Ooh.
Not in that location, Rick. Somewhere else. The cool thing is Stephen D. Anderson on his MySpace page, which I literally had to go back into the archives to find this today. He said that, yeah, that's a name I've not heard in a long time. He said that he was comped with production photography of Vader's actual glove that was film used, that he then used like this. This is a reference photo, so he used Vader's actual glove to you could tell
Wow.
the detail is immaculate.
That's cool.
Mhm.
So for our audio listeners, check out our Instagram. I posted it there as well because we now have
That's awesome.
an Instagram.
Oh
So-
yeah.
This being a Dark Lord trilogy, this is an interesting move because this is an official, unofficial trilogy. It wasn't first released as a trilogy, along with Labyrinth of Evil and Revenge of the Sith. Guys, let's go
That's
around the
common.
horn here. Do you view these three in your mind as an authentic trilogy or as a marketing tactic? I'm on the fence. I'm torn. What do you think?
Hmm.
Okay.
I feel like in my mind, trilogy. I'm sorry, Freddie. Do you want to start?
No, go ahead. I'm thinking about it. I'm vibing it up. Go ahead.
I think in my mind, trilogy means it's a sequence of plot.
Yes.
So it is all designed to flow and the characters remain largely the same. So I think trilogy in my mind is a bit of a misnomer. I would accept collection because I do think those books belong together. I
Yeah.
like they have very common themes and like you get a lot of backstory of Anakin and Vader that I love. But no, I don't think I would consider it a trilogy.
Yeah.
You got it
That's-
worked out yet, Freddie?
Yes, I do. Thrawn
Mm,
is a trilogy.
yeah.
Verifiable, undoubtedly. Calling this a trilogy is a very loosely drawn term of they're all kind of biopics of different scenarios, different situations, different perspectives. They all have a different you don't find a lot of what happens here move on to some of the other Vader related stuff. I could see it though because you are getting his perspective in many scenarios, but really they're all loosely connected. They are all Vader collection. I would expect to see this in like an omnibus of some
Yeah.
sort, right?
That's
Of
a
like
good way to put it.
a bunch of Boba Fett comics, so, something like that. They're not sequels or prequels of each other. They're all just
Oh, I do love those omnibuy of Boba
Yeah.
Fett comics. Those are all
That's
fun
how I
one
see it.
shots.
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
The thing about it is it goes Luceno, Stover, Luceno. And so
Yeah.
I think if it was three independent Luceno Vader novels, that would be cool. But Stover in the middle, it lacks the cohesion. However, they're all three great books. So like, I'm
But
not
They are
they
really
were-
good books.
Jared, from what our insider information is that these folks were always talking to each other. They were always communicating what they were doing. They were in the know of their story and maybe even helping them develop it. Luceno was when it came to Star Wars,
he was a consultant.
he was a consultant. Like he read everything. He kind of knew. He said, I forgot it now. But at the time, he was very well versed on what was happening when, and was often brought in to like assist with that. And so I know for a fact, just seeing them in person act with each other are 100% worked with each other in the past. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and he was like a repository of knowledge, particularly about the EU, like the old era of the EU. We're talking like the Daily era, the West End Games stuff. He's got that stuff on the back of his hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Stover, I mean, he got to meet with Lucas
Mm.
himself. So, because I remember that was the first question I asked
Yeah.
him. First time I got to meet him, he said, "No stupid questions." I said, "So what's it like working with George Lucas?"
And then I followed it up with stupid question number 2. Did you ever influence George Lucas? No, never.
Right.
Uh,
So these guys, hey, they're OGs. They're OGs. What about
Yeah.
you, Rick? Are you of a different opinion that they are a cohesive trilogy, or what?
I could go back and forth. I think you guys nailed it. They're great books that go together, but they're definitely not a trilogy by the typical use of that word. But I'm not like you said, Jared, I'm not mad that they're in one collected volume.
Yeah, I need to get my hands on that. The number of times I've almost bought that. Looking around here as if it's gonna drop
I think
from
I
the
have
ceiling on my head or something.
the Kindle version of that with 3 books in one, which is that's smart.
Yeah,
know-
that was the
Smart.
one I got from the library.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I was gonna
Well,
say
that
what
was-
it reminds me of, Jared, is probably the most interconnected, seamless omnibus that exists. I will give it that title because of all those two authors working with each other, bouncing things off each other, probably workshopping. I'm
Did
sure.
they ever do anything quite like this again? Three
That's a good question.
disconnected books and then repackaging them and saying it's a trilogy, take it or leave it.
This, I
They all
swear,
go together.
we've heard this before in Star Wars history, where they were like, "Oh yeah, it's a trilogy," and it's like not quite. Or maybe they call it a collection. I'm trying to think right now, and I can't think of anything.
Yeah. If you know, listeners, let us know on Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram, or the Discord. But
Or use your
let's
gem.
let's get to the summary of the book itself. Let's go around the horn here. I'll start us off. You guys pick up after me.
Yeah.
If I can get my dog to quit snoring, stop it. He's so happy that I'm up here podcasting with him. Let's get to it. Spoiler warning, by the way, if you haven't read Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader by James Luceno, now's your chance. Go pick it up in one of a dozen different formats. There's no shortage of ways to get this book. But here we go. In the smoldering aftermath of Revenge of the Sith, the galaxy finds itself in a bit of a pickle. The Jedi Order lies in ruins. The Republic is toast. And one Anakin Skywalker has traded in his sunny disposition and pod racing days for a very intimidating black suit and a cough that sounds like Darth Vader. While most of the galaxy assumes Anakin bit the dust on Coruscant, Vader is still very much alive and very eager to remind everyone why he's now the Dark Lord of the Sith. Emperor Palpatine, ever the encouraging boss, sends him on his first stormy errands to track down rogue Jedi and generally cement the Empire's rule. It's Vader's space probation period, if you will. And he's not handling the suit or the emotional baggage with grace. What else?
Yes. Meanwhile, on Mercana, Jedi Master Roan Shrine, along with Bol Chatak and her Padawan Oli Starstone, survive Order 66 almost by accident. They're cut off from the Force by shock and doubt. Shrine wrestles with guilt and disillusionment while trying to protect others. As they flee across the galaxy, they encounter more survivors, including Jedi who refuse to believe the Order is truly over, and the war. Their attempts to regroup make sense of the betrayal. It highlights the human cost of the purge. Hope flickers away. Quiet conversations and small acts of courage, even as the Empire's reach grows longer and way more suffocating.
It does get suffocating.
When Vader finally collides with the surviving Jedi, the novel sharpens into tragedy. He does have a flair for dramatic entrances, doesn't he? His confrontations are not just physical, but deeply personal, revealing a Sith Lord still haunted by the man he used to be. At the same time, the Empire tightens its grip, enslaving the Wookiees of Kashyyyk and crushing dissent wherever it appears. The book closes with a quiet but powerful reminder that the story is not finished. Obi-Wan Kenobi watches from exile on Tatooine, aware now that Anakin lives as something monstrous. The galaxy has entered a dark age, but somewhere beyond Vader's shadow, a new hope is growing.
Hey, New Hope. See what we did there? A New Hope.
Good. It's good.
Like Star Wars.
Oh.
All right, let's rate it. Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader. For me, it's an 8. It's an 8.
Yeah.
It's a really good top tier Legends book, though it's in some ways not as good as I remembered. And we can talk about that. In some, it's better than I
Interesting.
remembered. Yeah. For me, it's out of the 3, the Dark Lord trilogy. It's the worst of the 3.
Interesting
What about
take.
you guys? Uh-oh. I got us out of the gate on the wrong foot. Freddie's upset with me.
I think an 8 is fine. I'm expecting more of an 8.5 from you, but I'll take an 8. I would give this a 9. I like it a lot. It really gives a sense of the torture, the torment. Like, why a lot of people always wonder, like, how could Anakin just turn into Darth Vader? I understand. The movies, I feel like, are very broad strokes, and these books really bring it out. This one brings out his torment that he's dealing with on a daily basis. It explains why the Emperor. I'm not sure if it's the Emperor who exactly forced him to be on Mustafar in his castle, but just thinking of all of that, it's just so terrible, so depressing. And seeing this book, like I always think of Vader as pretty bad dude, and violent as heck. But this book,
It's very emo.
he's very emo, and it's depressing.
Yeah, it's like he hates himself more than he hates the Jedi.
Yeah, and the Padawans, the Jedi do the most Jedi thing ever, which is it's not over, and it's like, guys, go hide.
The inevitable dread of
Mhm.
this book, the fact that like from the moment you're introduced to those Jedi, you're like, oh no, I've
Yeah.
3 Jedi I've never heard of before in a Vader book. Wonder what's gonna happen to them.
Hold on, Lucino's gonna make you like him for a while.
Yeah.
He is. All right, let's
Yeah.
get our ratings in. Freddie's higher than I am, though I'm high. I'm high.
Yeah.
How high are we, Emily?
Let's see. I think probably 8.75.
That's a good one.
It was a very, very good book. But in some ways kind of forgettable. I think that the journey of the other Jedi was a little bit unnecessary. I think it kind of, while necessary for the plot of this specific book, knowing that they were all going to die at the end, I was kind of like, okay, but like back to Vader. But it did give us very key insights about his internal conflict and his transition from the Jedi to the Sith Lord, who we know is going to eventually convert back. So I think that Luceno does a brilliant job of playing into that struggle, and we can get more into this later, but because of the depth of his character development in this book, and just because I really like Luceno, it's going to be an 8.75 for me.
Yeah, I do love the Chewbacca cameo too. Forgot about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was good.
Although, man,
it was
what
a good
happens to the
backstory.
Wookiees? Ugh,
Yeah.
so sad.
The enslavement of the Wookiees is a huge plot point in Legends, and so I forgot it was in this book.
Yeah.
It comes up a number of other
Depressing.
times.
It is.
Yeah. How about you,
Um,
Rick?
I think for me, it's hard to put a number, but I think I'm in the. I'll give it the 7.5. How about that? The plot itself isn't like you guys have said. It's not the plot that excites me. It's the lore and the Lucino. Those two things really are what make this book great. Emily, I was able to find my Kindle highlights, and so
Oh, good.
I'll read a couple of these real quick. And like you guys said, so emo, so emo. But here's a good one. Vader yearned for the time when memories of Anakin would fade, like light absorbed by a black hole. Until that happened, his life-sustaining suit would be an ill fit, even if it was well suited to the darkness in his invulnerable heart.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a fun one. And then, let's see what this one is.
That sounds like the title of a Fall Out Boy song. Darkness of his invulnerable heart.
Yeah.
Jared, did we ask Luceno? I can't recall. Did we ask him at all how he got into Anakin's head at this depressing state? It'd be interesting to see how he got there, because that's some interesting stuff to write about.
We only had like 20 minutes. We need
That's
to get
right.
him back on the show. We can go deeper.
Yeah.
You got another one, Rick?
I hate the look of these mass-produced Imperator class destroyers. Oh, okay, you don't care about the ship stuff. The Venators, the Acclimators, the Victory. Okay, sorry. There's some cool
he
ship
built-
lore.
He built like the beginning, in my opinion, of the Empire.
Yep, the Imperial Navy. Boom, there
Yep.
it is.
Right there.
The Wook. Spend some time on the Wook getting ready for this one. There's a couple of actuallys down in the footnotes of
Of
the
course.
Wook about ships. It's like calls the ship the Executor instead of the
Oh boy. Yeah.
Executrix or
Hey man,
I don't know.
names can change.
Hey,
Like,
there's
actually, you got the size of the Star Destroyer wrong.
Oh yeah.
that's a big deal. Okay.
This is beta. These are beta ships. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Also, I noticed, I never did notice this before, but Armand Izard is mentioned, and it's like that's a cool little
Mhm.
Easter egg.
Yeah, kind of planting the seed for where we're going later in the X-wing books.
Yeah.
Got Papa, Big Daddy Iceheart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, let's talk more Vader. Let's talk more Vader.
Yep.
Vader, though he's on the cover, and his name is in the title. Officially, Luceno said that this was not the original title of the book. It's gonna have a different title when he got in the manuscript. They changed it to be a Vader book, but I think that's evident, especially in the first 8 chapters or so. Vader does not come up for the first 8-10 chapters of the book. I mean, it's a while before you get to Vader. Were you surprised by the initial lack of Vader? Emily says yes.
Take it, Emily.
Oh no, I was surprised. I was like, I'm sorry, why am I hearing all about these nothing characters when Vader was promised? So yeah, it did take a while for me to get into it.
When he does come in, though, he makes a splash. It's
That's
quite
true.
the entrance.
It's a splash of blood.
Maybe the most memorable character entrance in any Legends novel. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there, next to Hot Dog Boba Fett, but that's a comic in Dark Empire.
But not slimy, moist, naked palps.
Well,
Different era.
I mean, he's already in the story before he's slimy. Anyway, the description of him in the armor, it's unmatched.
That's right.
The self-hatred, and it kind of portrays it in 3 different lights. And I'm what?
Uh-oh.
I want
This
to.
is never a good sign.
I'm going to use AI to make this. I hope. I want to do a wicked loathing music video to Vader walking around.
Oh man. I'm not disappointed by the
what an
stuff you've done with
intrusive thought,
AI.
Rick.
So let's make it happen.
Rick is 90%
right.
intrusive thoughts. 90%.
That is so accurate.
The other 10% is Chick-fil-A.
I loathe it all.
Yeah. All right. In this novel, Vader, there's like 3 different competing personas. We'll say you've got machine, monster, and man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this novel, for you, which of these 3 is the most prominent of the Vader personas? And how do we see Anakin peeking through the armor and all of this? For you, is Vader in this novel more machine, monster, or wounded man?
Oh yeah.
Kick us off, Ariana.
Is that me?
Who is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, Ariana got it now. I got it.
That's a good one.
Let's see. Somewhere between. I think he's Wounded Man. Yeah, he's. All the angst is raw. There's a line in there somewhere about how Dooku got to have everything he wanted.
Oh yeah.
And,
So whiny.
but he doesn't and stuff, and like how everything was taken away from him. Had he not listened to Palpatine, he would have had everything he wanted. So stuff like that. That's definitely Wounded Man. But I mean, it's literally the rise of Darth Vader. This is him growing into, I guess, his monster machine.
Yeah, that's a good
I'm
way.
leaning more monster and machine, somewhere between the 2. I think that he's realizing that he is more machine than man, and becomes a monster as a result of that realization. So I love this. This is in chapter 10. Chapter 10. There's this series of self-reflections. What is happening here? I gotta figure out how to turn that off.
What is going on?
For
We
our
got a random thumbs down
audio
for like
listeners,
nothing.
yeah, my screen just gave me a huge thumbs down. It doesn't want to see me up close and personal on YouTube.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't see it on my end. That's weird.
That was kind of
Yeah.
funny, man.
I don't know if it was an Apple thing or a Zoom thing. Either way,
It might have
it
been
was
a Zoom
ridiculous.
thing.
Okay, so he's dealing with the idea that there's servo drivers and pistons in his
Yeah.
forearm, and he's got the strength to crush the hilt of his new lightsaber, and so he's got to learn,
It's really
you know,
gross.
how to grip it. He's talking about his prosthetics, how he can't get food through his mouth, only inside the hyperbaric chamber. He's had to remove this triangular respiratory vent that was the mask's prominent feature. It was easier to receive nourishment through liquids, intravenous and otherwise, than to rely on catheters, a collection of pouches and recyclers to deal with
Gross.
the liquid. I mean, it's going into all of this detail. The cybernetic devices that replace his vertebrae, on and on and on about what it is to be a machine. And I think that is what really makes him a monster. The loss of his humanity.
Mm.
So we've got one vote man. I'm voting
Mhm.
machine, bordering on monster. How about you, Freddie?
All right, I have 5,796 hours of disk space remaining, so let's go for it. I feel like the conversation here is really perspective versus perception, because when you get the perspective of Vader, you're in Anakin's head. You're feeling the things he's feeling, the suffering. You hear whiny Anakin come back and talk about, "Well, why were they so mean to me?" But he shuts it down, right? And you get to see this like just wounded human who's suffering through probably one of the most traumatic things anybody could ever go through, being burnt by lava, and coming back as a villain. And then you see the perception of what others see of Vader, and the clone troopers, they don't question it, but they see this thing and they're like, he's not one of us, but I don't know what he is. And others as well. And you see the Jedi, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Roan.
Starstone.
Roan, is it Roan Shrine who fights him?
Yeah.
And just completely figures out through the fighting, like, holy cow, this guy is trained. And Vader / Anakin say things to him, and he's like, wait, are you Anakin? Like, are you a Jedi? Just through their conversations, their private conversations during fighting, have I seen Anakin peep through, and Roan just completely terrified by, holy cow, like, this thing, I don't think I can beat this guy. And that's kind of like where you see Anakin peek out, is during those fights. But during, like, when you're just a nobody on the street who has no idea what's going on, all you think about is, what the heck is this thing? Like, I know these clones are scary, but this guy is tall and clinking around and black all over, black shiny armor, and he looks
Never
like
seen anything
a
like him
machine.
before.
Never
Yeah.
seen anything like it before. And they just came
I-
through a war with droids, so they're just like, what is this dude? So yeah.
I love that idea of the perception versus perspective, because I would argue that that's really definitive for Vader's character moving forward. So that's how he is changed by Luke. That Luke sees him through a different light than anybody else around him has seen him for decades.
Yes.
And that ultimately shapes his own self-perception, which changes the galaxy.
Mm.
I see where you're going, Freddie. I like that. Picking up what you're putting down. What are you putting down, Emily? You going man, monster, or machine?
Honestly, this question has stumped me more than I think any other question that you've ever put to me.
Interesting.
It is so all three, and it's very difficult to pick which one, because we do get an excellent perspective of Vader's transition from an incredibly accomplished fighter who knows his body and is attuned with the Force, and then now it's like Force machine. So, like, how does the Force move through a being that's really mostly bionic? Or
Yeah,
if that's
he's lost
even appropriate.
some ability to use the Force.
Yes,
control
and
of his
so
body.
he's trying to assimilate to that, and he's a tinkerer, right? But he has no hands that function. So he's frustrated by his lack of physical ability, which I completely understand. Well, relatively understand, but I can see his perspective from that. I can see him becoming a monster because he truly has lost everything. Um, his attachment to Padme that shifted to Palpatine, and his complete and total destruction of everything that he was, that he once held dear, and his personal responsibility in that, um, made him a monster. And the only way that he can face it is by completely embracing it and going even more so. Um, and he is a deeply wounded man. I think that that is probably the root of it. But it's such a complex answer. And that's what I love about Luceno, is he does such a great job of showing the complexity of characters
Yeah.
and how just interwoven everything is, because you can't see just part of him. And I think that this book is probably the most pivotal book aside from Revenge of the Sith to really understand Vader and Anakin's character at all. Like Revenge of the Sith really unlocked that entire character for me. The novelization, not the film. The film didn't do anything
Right.
for me, but the novelization
Wow.
between
Nothing.
this and then Rise of Darth Vader, it changed everything.
Yeah. Gosh, you know, the one thing, if I could, Emily, what I picked up is like he's incredibly powerful. This mechanic man, incredibly powerful, super deadly. Still has some use of the Force and very deadly with it, but he at the same time he's incredibly handicapped. Incredibly handicapped.
Yep.
I don't think this has ever been explored to the same degree since, and I definitely know it's not been the same in canon. This was hugely pivotal in how we understood the Force in Legends. That because he is now less human, he has less control over the Force, and I don't think that that's come back around. I could be mistaken, but I remember it being, like a bombshell when this book first came out, in how we understood the way that the Force came from a person's humanity and from their physical body, that you need a human body because of the nature of the living Force coming from living things. Well, he's less living at this point in time. And so I don't know. Do you guys know if that's ever come back around?
Well, it'd be interesting to watch Kenobi, the series that came out, and see the ending of the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin or Vader, because that, in my opinion, would be I mean, who else but one of the best? I know how it ends, obviously, but by then I feel like he's probably picked up a few skills. Maybe
Right.
not fully, but I feel like he's picked up a few things. He's probably gotten used to it. He's probably built his own hands. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, like in Legends, I don't think, unless it's a video game, I don't think that we ever really see a Rogue One hallway moment with Vader in Legends. What we see is more of the Vader from the Alec Guinness fight in A New Hope, where he is not doing flips around like he did on Mustafar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is not that caliber of fighter anymore. He's had to totally adjust his fighting style. And I think Luke unlocks some of that in him because of the way that he relates to him. Obviously, some of that is just the lightsaber battles evolved as the filmmaking evolved, but this book, I thought, gave us a really clear answer for why Vader is not as physically capable as Anakin.
Yeah.
Something I'd like to see explored more. One
Done
thing, going
purposely
back to
by
your
the
answer,
Emperor.
could be could be handicapped by the Emperor.
Yep.
One thing, going back to your answer, Emily, that I want us to follow up on is Luceno's ability to write complex characters. And not only does he write Vader as a complex character, he writes a little trio of complex characters with the Jedi that are featured in this book. In particular, Rowan Shrine and Olise Starstone really function as foils for each other. Rowan, who is got the disillusionment and doubt, being somebody who's struggling with the fact that their order has now been decimated. Their whole life as they knew it is gone. Whereas on the flip side, Olise Starstone, what a great Star Wars name, Starstone. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really holds on to hope. So you got the optimism or naivete in contrast with Rowan Shrine. Which one do you think is a more realistic way that a Jedi would deal with Order 66? And which one do you think is more appropriate? Is the best response for a Jedi? What's more realistic versus practical? the disillusionment or the optimism, Rick?
I think the delusionment is the starting point. Well, I don't know. Maybe optimism is the starting point because it takes a while for this really to hit, and for the gravity of what's happened to fully take hold. And once you get there, then I think like the grieving process. Like you feel the grief. That's when the delusionment comes. But at first, it's almost denial.
Disillusionment.
Yeah, well, it's almost like denial optimism. Like it's not that
Okay,
bad.
Chives, calm down.
Trying to help him out here.
Continue, Rick.
making a
You were
good point.
saying
I
some
ruined
excellent
it.
points. Yeah.
Nah, that's all I got.
Okay, I see your point though.
Yeah,
Where
that's
are you
very
at, Freddie?
interesting. Well, when have the Jedi ever been challenged to this extent of extinction?
Hmm.
Imagine just hearing, first of all, getting a communication of, hey, come back to the temple, retreat of some sort, and then following that with Kenobi or a different code, I think, in the communicator that said, it's done. Don't trust anybody. Flee.
Don't come back to Coruscant.
Don't come back to Coruscant. Don't come back to the Jedi Temple. And at first you feel like you've had hope this basically your whole life, this whole career of being a Jedi for a while. Why would you expect anything other than that? That you could have hope and triumph in darkness. And really, what I feel they had to learn the hard way, unfortunately. They had to go through a major death of somebody that was more powerful than all of them, almost easily, and realize, oh, shoot, I think we got to leave. I don't think we can. I feel like we finally. It's almost like the hubris of the Jedi that Emily and I always try to punctuate, I guess, is that they had this high and mighty thought of themselves of we can do this, and then really having to run into the hard truth to realize, oh my goodness, I don't think we can. There's the only people we know about are us, and it's probably only us. And even if that's the case, we got to do what we got to do. And it was nice knowing you, but we can never do this again. Because
And
holy cow.
it's easier for some to come to that realization than others.
Yeah, because they're too high and mighty, and it was so annoying at the beginning to see them. I mean, we all kind of know what's going to happen. We know Vader. We know who Vader is, but they don't. They have no clue.
Right. They don't know.
And man, when they start to come closer to the truth, it's like, maybe not, guys. Bye. They have to.
And
there's no choice.
There's this idea. There's a hope that a portion of the council still exists, and that hope is just slowly crushed. And I love the way the book eventually transitions from like an epilogue to Revenge of the Sith into more of that kind of cold, restrictive fear that kind of dominates the original trilogy. And I feel like this is a great bridge novel getting us from the prequels to the original trilogy, because you see that oppression of the Empire really set in. Where are you at with this, Emily? The Jedi and their response to Order 66?
Again, I just think it's a beautiful study in characters. So we've got this jaded Jedi, Rowan Shrine, who has basically one foot out the door and can't connect with the Force anymore. And he has lost so much. And then we've got this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed little Padawan who is really just a book learner, little Hermione Granger in Star Wars, and they have to be, through trauma, they are, like everyone else dies, and they are stuck together, and they unite with a bunch of other Jedi, and then all of them die. And then by the end, seeing Rowan Shrine's arc of like seriously considering, should we give it all up? Like I kind of wanted to. I didn't think we were on the right path. I think that we're not doing the right thing. We're not doing what we're meant to be doing. What are we meant to be doing? I don't even know anymore. He has a serious doubt in his purpose as a Jedi and just the purpose of the organization as a whole, and sees like, yeah, we messed up. And then to have him circle back at the end to reconnect with the Force when he's encountering Vader, that to me confirms the Chosen One prophecy, right? So like that was Vader restoring balance in the Force. He had such an opposing force that the good side of the force, the dark side was so strong in him that the side of the force, or the light side, had to come as an
Had to counter.
opposition. Yeah,
It's a great
that's
take.
what I'm trying to say. And then with Oli Starstone, she got realistic. You know, I think she represents the standard Jedi, right? She's just doing what she's been told, the only thing that she's ever known, the only thing that she's ever been taught. And she hasn't experienced the great extent of loss because she's been in the archives. And so she finally gets a firsthand account of just how awful war is and how far the Jedi really have fallen, and has to confront the reality of, like, okay, this is it. Like, this is the world. We can't just say you're bad and I'm going to fight you and win. She's realizing that they have to take a different tactic and they have to change. I just thought that I feel like they like really crossed in a beautiful way, in the way that they all came together in the end to really form
Definitely.
the heart of the resistance.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. Love it. Hey, for the sake of time, 3 last questions. We're just go lightning round with this around the horn. 3 last questions. Here we go. Number 1, we've got follow up to the last question. Is this for you? You know, thinking about the fact that Vader's not in the first third of the book, is this more of a Vader origin story on the one hand, or a Jedi extinction story on the other? Keep it quick. Gut
Extinction.
feeling.
Jedi Extinction.
Jedi extinction story,
Same.
Freddie. I'm thinking that's what Luceno intended on the front end.
Definitely.
Which you've got a lot more of this in canon now. The Inquisitors coming in and finding rogue Jedi. It feels tired at this point, but when in 2005 it wasn't. What about you, Rick?
Vader was the Inquisitor.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, this feels like a Vader origin story to me. Just because of, again, what appeals to me about this book, and honestly, the Jedi characters, I couldn't tell you which name goes to which character right now. They're just not super memorable. But what is memorable is getting into the inner workings of Darth Vader and his changes. And so, yeah, for me, it's an origin story.
Okay, all right. Number 2, let's go. The epilogue, Kenobi on Tatooine. Was it needed, or was it egregious fan service? For me, it doesn't fit with the rest of the book. Comes off as a little bit disjointed. But, you know,
I
we've
think it
seen
answers
more of this in canon. We've seen more of it recently.
Yeah. I think that book answers more of like what was Kenobi going through during this time. He didn't want anything. He was the one that sent the message. He knows what's going on. He knows who Vader is. He knows what's about to happen. He's getting out of Dodge. And so it's interesting because I have, you know, that Mythos Star Wars sideshow statuette
Love that thing. Yeah.
really paints the story of like he was just a dude trying to survive. He had his clone armor. He had the lightsabers with him and a backpack, an evaporator, and electro binoculars, a gun, and he's trying to survive, right? Like he's doing his best to lay low, but also his mission, he has a mission. And it takes him some time to realize this mission, that child needs to stay alive and safe, period. And he needs to stay out of harm's way and complete his mission.
Did that epilogue belong in this book, though?
No, this is totally, they're not the same.
Okay, but hear me out. If it's a Jedi extinction story, though, it absolutely belongs in this book.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's like in a different world, and then you
Yeah.
zoom
Had a
over to
different title.
Kenobi. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the title is catchy. So I see what you mean. I think that, like, it was both. It kind of felt like a Vader origin story nested in a bigger Jedi extinction story.
Yeah.
Or
Okay, Rick?
is it a Vader origin story nested? Okay, no. I was just gonna
We're
say.
supposed to do 2 seconds, right?
Yeah. I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say
Just kidding.
2 things. First of all, Kenobi being in this book, it's very Legends. It's very connective tissue
is.
to the rest of the Legends EU. So I'm not like mad by it. Second of all, I mean, Kenobi and Anakin are intertwined characters, and so
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is kind of a good bookend. It's an epilogue, exactly just that, you know. And so
like it.
I think it fits.
All right, last one. if this novel were adapted into a gritty limited series. Let's call it Vader Year Zero. You know, you've got this like for Batman Year One or whatever.
Yeah.
What is one scene from this novel that is an indispensable must include? What's one thing you'd like to see replicated if Disney Plus turns this into a limited series? I'm going to say a Vader in the armor. It's like a POV trying to grip his lightsaber and just struggling with being a machine.
It's interesting.
I was gonna say this is kind of a joke, obviously, but I would love like the Saturday Night Live style, like behind the scenes of all of the fluid bags and like Vader getting an oil change, you know, or something
More
like
of a
that.
robot chicken.
Star Wars detours.
sketch.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he's just like a vacant shell of a man. Like you can see his face. He's like zoned out, and then like everything is being done to him.
Right. Or like
funny.
some, you know,
Can't tie his shoes.
he just starts throwing some like grunt worker across the room because he doesn't like the way his suit feels, or he has to itch his nose but can't get to it, or something, you know, goofy like that. But that's probably not what the answer you're looking for, so I'll stop talking.
On the
Oh,
opposite
we did
side
some
of Rick,
emotional stuff this episode. So.
I feel like this needs to be really cinematic with his suffering, right? It needs to make you suffer
Ooh.
to see him suffer. It needs to show you maybe like an angle, a shaky, I don't know how to do this, an angle of him just like clasping at maybe his chest, like having a hard time breathing, and maybe like a finger falls and he's like shaking to try to put it back together or something, and it's just suffering. And I want to see them highlight how much he suffers in this stage and how much it is not fun to be where he's at. And then I want, you know, to counter that suffering, that slowness in the episode, I want to see him fall 100 feet from a shuttle, land on some ground, and then just go to town slaughtering something. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that intense action. Evil action, but intense action that we deserve to see from the Sith.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Speaking of suffering, Emily says, Kashyyyk, you want to see the enslavement of the Wookiees on TV?
If the goal is a must-include emotional gut punch that would connect the rise of Darth Vader and the solidification of his character as a monster, where he's now transitioned completely into Darth Vader, then that's the scene. That would be the end, the last episode of the season, where you would see Vader with the ruins of Kashyyyk behind him.
On fire from an orbital bombardment.
You would see children crying, like that would be it, or like little Wookiee children being like ushered away, and that would be what nobody would forget.
Wook screaming.
Oof.
You didn't get enough of that in the holiday special, Emily?
Oh my gosh.
So, friend of the show, Dave Filoni, if you're listening, we have some ideas for you.
Friend of the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's give Luceno those royalties. Well, we've had some good discussion tonight, and we'll keep you updated with what our next Roundtable book is going to be over on Instagram and in the Discord and on X, so check us out there. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of Legends Lookback. If you're looking for some other podcasts to expand your fandom, be sure to check out the rest of the lineup in the Youtini Podcast Network, including the Cosmic Force, the Star Wars Archives, the Youtini Canon Book Club, and the Youtini Show.
Absolutely, and thank you to the proud members of the United. A special thank you to James Taylor, Michael Fry, and Kevin Lenninger on our High Council for their amazing support.
Indeed, and if you would like to join our amazing community of like-minded fans who are eager and excited to talk, not stalk, but talk Star Wars Legends anytime, day or night, visit youtini.com/community.
If you'd like your thoughts read on the show, email us at legendslookback@gmail.com. We're also on X at legendslookback, and now on Instagram as well. And the United Discord is always a great place to chat in the Legends Lookback channel.
Good catch with the Instagram. Nice job. All right, that's it for us. Keep exploring, keep sharing. Let's keep on expanding the universe together. May the Force be with you.